Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse, Frugally. Thanks for joining me today. I have 4 summer trash to treasures, so I hope that you will enjoy this video. I am starting with a roofing slate that somebody had painted once upon a time. I found it on the good table at my dump, and I am starting with a beautiful robin's egg blue color that I had mixed up for a different project and had left over. And I really wanted to use these sweet little bunnies. So I am taking that mold as well as my paper clay to create something that I consider very summer. Because here in our area, we begin to see the bunnies in our yard and in our garden in the summertime. They bring their babies and they stay under the thicket. And we take a walk. We count how many we see, oftentimes 15 to 20 in a 3 or 4 mile walk, and just really enjoy them. So I thought that I would start with creating something with these sweet little bunnies. I am also using a mold that has some little leaves and a mushroom. I'm going to use just simple school glue here since this is a paper clay, but certainly you can use a wood glue, especially if you have a more heavy-duty project. Once I do get that laid out the way that I like it, I end up adding a mushroom, and then I want to brush over these with the blue paint to begin with to make that more cohesive. And then once I have that, more of a dry brush, filling in the bulk of the clay, then I am going to pull out my linen white chalk paint and I am going to dry brush over that, creating some layers and some dimension for this piece. If you are a lover of things coastal or shabby, you might just simply keep that in the blue and the white, but I personally prefer things that are more vintage. So once that is dry, I took out some antiquing wax and I'm kind of just pouncing it here and there to get it down into that, not full coverage. And then I am going to take the paper towel and wipe the bulk of that back, giving me again some more dimension and more of a vintage feel on this piece. And really for me, that is it. Less is more. I like things that are a little bit more muted, but if you liked color, you could certainly paint the leaves in green. You could have, you can paint these any way that you like it. You can paint the mushroom. I added a simple jute hanger and hung this in my foyer where I have blues and I have bunnies already. And so you'll have to let me know what you think about that and if those slates are readily available in your area. If not, grab something wood at the Dollar Tree or the dollar store near you. Maybe one of those wooden tags or something, and just create whatever it is that speaks to you. Now, before I move on with my other DIYs, I want to mention that today I am in a collaboration called Hello Summer with these lovely ladies. They are hosting this, and I'm going to put the channel links in my description box as well as a playlist of everyone else who has joined us for this. And please make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss all of the other videos that I am creating. Taking me on to number 2. Now this is the most simple thing I'm going to do today. I found this beautiful placemat at my dump on the good table, cleaned it, and then once it was clean, I simply pulled out some hot glue and I glued the edges of it. This would make a great pocketbook, but I am just going to flip it inside out or right side out and stuff it with some fiber fill. And then once that is stuffed, I'm going to close it with the glue and add some vintage lace on either end. Now I have a little area in my living room that was in this color tone, just kind of lacking something. So I thought this would make the perfect little vignette to go with that, and with the pinky colored peachy pink florals that I added on my mantle for summer to just kind of go from spring to summer. I literally loved what was already on the mantle, but I thought I'd add that little pop of color. And so I think that this little pillow is just pulling the whole look together, and it doesn't take much. It is simple, it doesn't cost much, and you probably have some cloth or even some of these hanging around. I love the fact that it's a quilted fabric because it doesn't show the lumps and bumps, and it just looks like a much sweeter fabric to make a pillow out of. So here it is in the little corner with another couple of things that I had already had from my spring video in the past, and that is it. So simple, but just another little piece to make a statement. Now, this is going to take me on to number 3, which is my absolute favorite from today. I had one of these tags from the dollar store. This one came from the Good Table at my dump, because you know my dump is amazing. And I am just popping off the letter and taking my heat gun to the paper to get that off. And then I did wet it a little bit to get the glue off of the press board. And then once that dries, then I am going to use this spectacular mold that I have been dying to use of Lily of the Valley. I'm going to use up my paper clay because it's been hanging around for quite some time, and I just want to be done with this packet. So I thought that this would be a great thing to do today. I don't often use clay, but I do really enjoy it. So I'm going to take a couple of the full Lily of the Valley. I'm going to take some pieces. I'm just going to play with it so that I can lay this out the way that I want to. And once I have those pressed out of the mold, I am going to go ahead and paint them before I adhere them because, one, I'm kind of a messy painter, and also I don't want to get any paint on the background, and I like to paint them while they're still wet so that the clay doesn't crack. So I am using some of that same blue color, but I am watering it down so it's almost watercolor, and then I'm going to add some green, and I am just going to go back and forth, not being any kind of an artist at all, trust me, but this is just something that I'm playing with. And then I don't think there's enough blue, so I bring a little blue back, and then I pull out some white so that I can go over the little Lily of the Valley bells with some of the white paint, just doing it the way I like it for my look. Now I'm going to dry that base. I had painted it white just so that the decoupage paper that I'm going to put on it will pop off. If I kept it brown, it would be just a little bit too dark. So just decoupage medium on there, maybe just a little too much. And then once I have that, I am taking this free printable. I just searched Pinterest for free printable and Lily of the Valley, and I got this one. I think I might have had to give my email to somebody to get it for free, but that's fine by me. And then printed that out in the size that I wanted it, and then I'm just using a little bit of the saran wrap there to press that down and get the bulk of the wrinkles out after sanding the edges off. And now again, I am just using school glue. Now I just thought that that would be pretty to have something in the background. I'm not going to cover it completely. I'm just going to have it in the background peeking out, and then I'm going to add these that I have painted here and there while they're still pliable and still somewhat wet, so that I can manipulate those and have them look the way that I want them to. And then once I have everything adhered, then I'm going to take my distress ink because I just like that vintage look, but certainly you don't need to do that. If you want to recreate this, that's up to you. But I really do love the 3 dimensions that it gives it and the vintage feel to add a little bit of either antiquing wax or distress ink when I make these products, but certainly you do you. So once I have that done, then I am going to let this dry for probably 2 solid days before I hang it up, because I want to make sure that it is going to be nice and solid and dry. And I love it with my Lily of the Valley in my entryway, which is my inspiration for this piece. And then I have this frame. Now, I've had this frame hanging in my bedroom for probably 15 years over my bed. I think I paid a couple of bucks at a yard sale for it. And it is a gorgeous frame and a beautiful mat and a piece of paper, literally like a piece of wrapping paper. It looks like to me. It is so thin and there is nothing special at all about that. In fact, I tossed it. It just was not my thing. Then I am going to just clean everything. And once I have that clean, I am taking this canvas that I paid a couple of bucks for on Temu or Temu, however you say that. And I have to be honest with you, I don't love supporting China. I don't love buying things from Temu, but the fact is I have looked everywhere. I have looked at Michael's and Walmart and Hobby Lobby and all the places around me, and every single thing they have to offer comes directly from China. So in this case, I am cutting out the middleman, and I think I paid $3 for this, and it is canvas. And so I am using some tape, and I am kind of stretching it a little bit as I tape it onto the mat so that I will have less wrinkles, and hoping that when I put the whole thing back together again, there won't be any wrinkles in it. And actually, because it's such a dark print, I don't really notice any at all. So I think that it came out pretty decent for what it is. And I absolutely love it in my bedroom over my bed in place of what was there. And if you've been with me for any length of time, you know that I had created over the past year or two a number of free watercolor prints that I've gotten from primarily the graphicsfairy.com on the other wall that need to be spaced out properly, but I'll do that once we repaint this wall. And I think that it goes really well with that. So that is it for my video today. I hope that you have enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you give me a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe. It's free to you and it really helps my channel. And at this moment, I'm like 10 people away from 2,500, so that would be a blessing. Don't forget to check out the playlist and these hosts in my description box. And I will see you in the next one. Take care. Thanks for stopping by.